Yo,
How you doing?
chilling.
Yeah, man. Still thinking about that verses and
Mm,
shit.
great, great versus the best ever.
That's the best, indeed.
I have a feeling like we might keep saying that depending on the matchups. We're gonna keep saying it's the best ever. Definitely right up there, top three for me already.
I'm gonna have to watch that again.
Yes, I'm watching it again because it was that great.
Hmm.
You know,
Everyone.
now people's already talking shit about it. Like it was what was Buckshot? The whole thing with Buckshot going at King. What was that about?
It was just joking.
Right, and Scratch low key taking shots at Crib Capri. You know, they of course they're asking why Coogee Rap wasn't there. I don't know why he wasn't there. He declined, but even if he declined, ask that man again because he needs a versus. Definitely, you gotta have Coogee Rap a part of this shit. I don't care if they gotta ask him 50 million times. Keep asking him. You know, don't run to get 50 Cent. Coogee Rap needs to be a part of this shit.
Yeah, man. Harris wants new king of verses now. Fuck Jada Kiss.
Hey, that's your man's. You and BJ, you always claiming he's the king. KRS One said I'm the king.
Shit.
He already let that be known. So anybody else that's after him is gonna have to put up a great verses. We need Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes already said, "Bring me my opponent." Who
He
is
wants
Busta gonna
T.I.
battle? He wants Ti. Nah, Ti gonna lose against Busta. It got to be somebody else. Put Ti against Weezy. You know what I'm saying?
T.I. don't
Busta
want
for
easy.
for me, Busta is on a different level from Ti. Busta gotta be. If it ain't Jay Nas, then it ain't gonna be nobody. If it ain't Jay Nas or Rakim, I don't see him.
Missy.
Missy too. I think Missy can take him. You know what I'm saying? I think people feel like Missy is some one hit wonder. I'm like Missy's the discography is flawless. She definitely got hits and remixes and features and she produced. You know what I'm saying? Like don't Missy's a legend. Don't take Missy lightly, man. Like she got a ton of hits. They scared the battle Buster. It's like nobody want Buster. Everybody want to battle 50 Cent. You know, 50's not doing it. He's doing TV. He's not interested in doing a versus. You know what I'm saying?
50's on a different hustle right
Yeah,
now.
he doing TV. He's bigger than music now. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't one of the goats for Buster, then Buster shouldn't do it. And I don't care to see Buster and Ti. I'd rather see Ti and Weezy. That would be a great battle. I wanted Ti and Ross, so they put Ross against whack ass 2 Chainz. So you know what I'm saying? I wanted Ti and Ross a long time ago.
This is why I love hip hop, man.
Come on, man. We got to get Rakim next. Rakim, LL, Coogee Rap, Slick Rick. They must be a part of this shit. It'd be nice if we could get Will Smith a part of it also. But he missed the Hollywood too.
Hell, Will Smith don't mind. I think didn't he recently go on tour Jazzy Jeff before the pandemic?
This would be a great way for Will to come back into rap. You do a versus.
But who do you put him against? Like,
And he one of those cats. LL, Slick Rick. Any one of those cats. He got the hits too.
that is true.
Big mainstream hits. Not underground shit. He got big mainstream hits.
Just like Kumo D, Will kind of
Yeah,
transcended into different generations of hip hop
exactly.
too.
He got more hits than Fat Joe. I'll tell you
Huh?
that.
You got more hits than Ja Rule? Shit.
You know what I'm saying? Big hits. Who's going up against Will Smith? They
You know
talking
what
about
would be
they scared of Buster. Y'all scared of Will.
for real? Hell, Will play the Fresh Prince of Bel Air theme song, "Party Over."
And it's a song. And it's fire.
Right.
That ain't no show jingle. That's a full song.
It was on the Billboard charts and
You know what I
shit.
mean? That's on his greatest hits album. You know? Get any one of them. LL and Will Smith. They
How
they
about
both did they both
Will
did
Smith versus Queen Latifah?
Queen Latifah and Will Smith. Let's go. That's verses
Yeah,
right there.
that's the verses.
They both had great albums. They did good movies. Still doing films and TV. Like, yo, come on, man.
Timbaland, where my check at,
Come
nigga?
on, Swizz. What y'all doing? You know? Nobody's rushing to see 50 Cent. He doesn't want to do it. We got to move on from them. You know? We got to get the West Coast and the South involved more, and we got to get the females involved more. There's not a lot of female verses, especially
Except
for
for like
rap.
even
Yeah,
Trina was like the only
and that
one.
was trash. I didn't like that.
Yeah,
Come on, where's Little Kim, Foxy, Queen Latifah, Salt and Pepper? They need to be involved in Missy.
they were supposed to have the Lil Kim Foxy round. I don't know what happened with that.
We need that. I don't care if they beefing or not. We need that matchup. Let's make it happen. Forget 50 Cent. He's not doing it. There's more hip hop than just 50 Cent out there. If he don't want to do it, he don't want to do it. Best rapper turned actor, LL for me.
Man, I'm gonna go Will.
But I love Will. Will made the better movies though.
Hell, I'll even say Tupac,
For a short stint, yeah, he made some good films.
Mark Wahlberg.
I love his movies more than his rap. I only like one album. He like the first one. I didn't care for the second one.
Hey, he was a rapper.
Yeah.
So
Can Marky Mark do a versus? Can he do a verse? I don't even think he would do it. He wouldn't do it. He doesn't acknowledge his rapping career anymore. So
yeah, he even said in the interview he didn't really care for his rapping days like that because he was going through like a lot of shit.
Ice T, I love Ice T's movies more than his music, but he's a legend. Ice Cube
Ooh,
definitely.
Ice T and Cool G Rap would be a good one.
Hey, ask Cool G Rap. I don't care how many times you gotta ask him. Keep asking him. I refuse to believe that Cool G Rap don't want to be a part of this shit. It doesn't make sense. You want
Well,
you
Cool G
want
Rap, he's always been like underground and shit too, so it does not really
well
surprise me.
play your underground shit. Fuck, KRS One and Kane wasn't commercial artists. They played a lot of underground shit tonight.
Oh yeah,
You know, play your underground shit. Play the whole G Kind of story if you have to. The whole Roots of Evil album. It's a classic anyway. You
all
know,
right. I rolled up my blunts. I'm ready to start whenever you are.
let's go.
All right, what's up, you two? Welcome to this lovely Sunday night. The best place to watch us. This is the boy Reg in the building. Got my homeboy Try with me.
What up?
Um, thank y'all so much for like staying put after the versus battle. I see a couple people here, Ronnie and Q. I don't know who D Anthony is, but what's up with you? What's up, Ray Sean? So we are going to continue on with the Rage Sundays, and we're going to talk about their third and
Yes.
technically their final album of new material, The Battle of Los Angeles. It came out on November 2nd of 1999, my birthday, by the way. Produced by Brendan O'Brien. It was on Epic Records. Singles I was known for are Guerrilla Radio, Sleep Now in the Fire, and Testify. No guest appearances. So yeah, man. A lot of people said this was like their best album.
I
A
agree.
lot of people said this was one of the greatest rock albums of all time. Like I said before, I can't really pick a favorite Rage album, but if I did pick one, this might be it. Either this, I, I don't know, man. I don't know. If I did pick one, this might be it. Might
Right.
be. So after the release of the Evil Empire album, Rage Against the Machine, they were touring, they were still getting into like their politics and activism and shit like that too. And so they were supposed to have gone to tour with the Wu-Tang Clan like around 97,
Mm-hmm.
98, and shit like that. But they were like pretty much controversial because the concert promoters where they were trying to say how it would be a violent concert and they were trying to take like a lot of people out the lineup. And so the Wu Tang ended up being replaced by the Roots and shit too. So that live concert was released as live and rare by the Rage Against the Machine and stuff like that too. And also around this time too, you had them playing at the Woodstock '99 and stuff like that too, which y'all should know about Woodstock '99. That was
Mm-hmm.
pretty much like 30th anniversary of Woodstock, and
That
then
was
they
great.
had that crazy ass riot.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that was like the end of the '90s, in my opinion.
Right.
But yeah, that's another story for a different day. Um, yeah, man. And then this album came out, 1999, November 2nd to be exact. And what the thing about this album too was the fact that certain songs off this album was like a tribute to Mumia Abu Jamal. And I'm going to talk more about that. He's like a Black Panther that was jailed, but I'm going to talk more about that when the time comes and shit too. Yeah, man. Of course, I don't have the album. Try has the album, so I'm just gonna have him show the liner
Yes.
notes and the cover.
Yep. I love the illustration for the album cover and shit.
Let's see.
Crazy.
Ooh,
They got like some drawing and shit.
yeah, man. This album is very controversial when it
And they
came.
and they have the lyrics in the booklet. That's what I like. They don't do that
Yep.
no more. They
I
got the
love,
the, the lyrics for each song in the booklet.
I love shit like that.
Yep. That's all they got. Just all the lyrics. No pictures, no nothing. Just all lyrics.
Sure. All right. So, do you have the version with 12 tracks or 13 tracks?
The 12. The 13 is the Japanese and Australian release. And back in the day, if you had pre-ordered the album came with a bonus CD with like two extra songs. It's not on the album. But I never pre-ordered. I never did no pre-order. I just went to the record store and bought it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I only took notes on a 12 track version
Hmm.
and stuff too. But all right, so let's get this shit started. Track number one, Testify. Whoa, already starting off with a bang. One of my favorite tracks that they've done, which I'm gonna be probably saying that a lot throughout this whole fucking album review. And it's pretty much talking about how people should like calling out the injustice that's happening in the
Right.
politics around that, which it's better explained in the video. I
Hmm.
think my shit's freezing. What the fuck? Okay, now it's good. Okay, yeah. So pretty much, it's better explained in the video how they have like a lot of these political figures, like George Bush and what's the name? What's the name? What's the name? Like Al Gore. People like that, and I fucking love this fucking track. It's a very, very, very timeless joint. Tom Morello on the guitar was definitely a very
Yes.
nice guitar weight. So yeah, I think this is his best album with Rage
Right. To
when,
me,
when it
yes.
comes to the guitar because
I agree.
nigga went nasty on this.
Crazy. A classic record from the beginning. I remember when this dropped. The drums, the guitars, that riff, ding, 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 ding. I love that shit. The chorus, now testify, cause it's right outside your door. Yo, man, this is one of the best Rage songs ever. Like, it's right up there with anything else they ever dropped. A classic, and like you said, like it's vintage, man. It's everything they talked about. It's still going on now in society, and I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Um, what's the next track? Gorilla Radio was the next track. Very, very, very dope song. You know what I'm saying? Kind of reminds me of that Talking Heads track too. I think it's called like War Doing Life During Wartime, some shit
Hmm.
like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It was on the I want to say it was on the Remaining Light album. I want to say, but kind of reminded me of that. But this one was like a lot more metal,
Right.
of course. You know what I'm saying? Pretty dope track. You know what I'm saying? This track actually got some controversy because what before I go there, this was actually the band's only Billboard Hot 100 song at number 69, and it got them the Grammy for Best Hard Rock Performance.
Right.
And what was interesting was when they performed this track on David Letterman and stuff like that. Zach De La Roca gave the middle finger on live TV,
Hmm.
and he was
I remember
wearing
that.
like the free Mumia Abu Jamal shirt.
Right.
And Abu Jamal, like I said, he was a former Black Panther political activist. Like he was convicted and sentenced to death in 1982 for the murder of a police officer named Daniel Faulkner.
Right.
And so a lot of people say that he has not gotten a fair trial and that he was likely innocent. And
Hmm.
Rage Against the Machine always spoke about freedom of speech and shit like that too, which yeah.
Right.
It kind of reminds me of that boxer. Um, what's his name? Denzel Washington betrayed him, the hurricane
Right.
and stuff like that. Kind of reminds me of that, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is a very, very, very good track. Classic track in my opinion.
Yeah. Another banger. The great drums and guitar playing. You got Zach saying, "Little shelter if you're looking for shade. I lick shots at the Pooba Parade and Fire." A great track. Um, this is what they do, man. Like they just did bangers after bangers, and it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, definitely good track. Next track, Calm Like a Bomb. Again, this was another single off this album. Um, Love the bass on this track. I think the bass was just very, I like how compressed that bass was.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Tom Morello's classic use of guitar on this album,
Right.
especially when he was using the whimming pedal with that wah, wah.
Yes.
Oh man, that was so fucking ill.
Fire.
This track again, it's just talking about like the inequalities and shit like that, social injustice. I definitely fuck with this track to a core, in my opinion.
Another great track. Real funky guitars on this one. Dope ass beat. It has like a real urgency to the song. And the chorus, what you say, what you say, what you say. And yeah, man, like it's great. Like there's non-stop bangers on here. Like I don't see any skippable tracks at all. Like this is any one of these songs we talking about could have been a single, and it would have been a big hit for them at that time. And yeah, this was a great track.
Definitely a good track. Now you're gonna get to Mic Check. Oh damn, man, it's probably the most
Mm-hmm.
hip hop sound off this whole fucking album.
Yes.
Kind of reminds me of something the Beastie Boys would have done on Check Your Head
Mm-hmm.
and shit.
Right.
And
Right.
again, this is why I say that Zach should be in a lot of people's top MCs list, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is the song that explains why he should be in it.
I agree.
Especially with lines like flexing and mashing with complex text, fast and in a fashion that snap back necks, quicker than a Fed cash to the company checks. I beat the fire only Marty could catch. Woo! That Catch a
Mm.
Fire reference. Oh my
Fire.
god. Um, Very very dope track. I love the breakdown in the chorus, like Mike
Yes.
Checker, ha 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 ha. I
Yes.
be the intimate rhythm box. Like it just
Ah.
has that Beastie Boys b-boy kind of feel to it. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with that song.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck with this song heavy. Probably my third or second of favorite song off this album.
I love the drum arrangements on that track. Damn, 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 damn. Yo, that shit is fire. The guitars on it, the scratching, definitely has like a hip hop sound to it, but still in that rage, that rage tone. And Zach killed it lyrically on this track, and this is one of my favorites on the album, though, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. All right. Next track is
Sleep in the
"Sleep
Fire.
Now in the Fire."
Mm-hmm.
My favorite Rage Against the Machine song, next to maybe Bulls on Parade, maybe.
Mm.
Damn, it's so fucking hard. Damn. But this is actually my favorite song off this album.
Right.
Another controversial song with a controversial video, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get into that. But this song, it's talking about like how like pretty much America built itself on greed and stuff like that. When he came to, of course, he mentions Christopher Columbus. He mentions slavery and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He mentions the mistreatment of Native Americans
Right.
and stuff like that. Like he was just going in on this track right
Mm-hmm.
here, and then the guitar riff that Tom used, it was he pretty much reused the Stooges song TVI from the Funhouse album
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, and he pretty much reworked it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Um, very very. I love how he uses the feedback from his amp to create that whammy sound in his guitar
Yes.
too.
The wah wah
Yes,
is
the
what we
wah
call it.
wah wah pedal.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, very very dope joint and shit like that. I love the line where he said, "For it's the end of history. It's caged and frozen still. There's no other pill to take. So swallow the one that makes you ill." Love that shit. Um, but then this song was controversial because the music video. There was a music video
Mm-hmm.
that actually closed the doors to the New York Stock Exchange and stuff like that. They had to block off the streets, and
Right.
the police was everywhere and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy because they did not even have permission to shoot at that spot for that video. They just did that shit off the rim. You know what I'm saying? Um, and yeah, they were just playing that shit. And if you guys see that video, the video is epic. I don't give a
Yes.
fuck what no one says. Like
Mm-hmm.
this whole song, in my opinion, was just Rage Against the Machine at their apex, in my
Right.
opinion. In their short history, like, god damn, man.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, man. I just wish they would have dropped another album in the 2000s. Like, one or
Right.
two albums I would have been cool with and
I think
shit.
they should drop one now.
Yes.
They're back together, so they definitely need to start dropping some new music.
Yes, man. Like, damn, man. This whole fucking track. And it's crazy, too,
Mm-hmm.
because I forgot about this song until I heard this album again and stuff like that. It was just like
Right.
that guitar riff, everything about this song about Rage, I love.
Same. A great track. Love the beat and the guitars. You got Zach saying, "The world is my expense. The cross was my desire. Jesus blessed me with his future, and I protect it with fire." Bars right there. You know what I'm saying? To be in a band like this and to drop heat like that lyrically is phenomenal. And like it just had that real rugged sound to it. I love it.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. Then we're gonna get to the Born of a Broken Man.
Mm.
Very, very, very good song. This song was written by his father, Vito de la Roca, and he was, from what I looked up, a member of the Lost Four, and the Lost Four was like an influential group of Chicano artists. And so what had happened was, he had a mental breakdown and stuff like that too, because people didn't like how he was talking about like the Vietnam War, and he had a mental breakdown, and they said that he got so religious that he started destroying everything that he was working on, and he actually ended up being in a psychiatric ward and stuff like that too. Yeah, crazy story, man, crazy
Wow.
story. And so yeah, and I like the beginning how they make it seem like it's gonna be like a ballad
Mm-hmm.
in a way, but then it just gets heavy and shit
Yes.
like that too. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a very, very, very dope song. You know, Zach De La Rocca definitely did his thing with this one. I love it.
It was like the calm before the storm. The way that the track starts off and it's real quiet and he's whispering, but he's like, again, he's dropping like some dope bars, and he's like, his thoughts of 100 moths trapped in a lampshade, somewhere within, their wings banging and burying all through endless nights. Forever awake, he lies shaking and starving, praying for someone to turn off the light. And then it just builds into like a frenzy with the guitars, and you got the beat, dan 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 dan. Born of a broken man, born of a broken man. I love that shit. One of my favorite tracks on this album. It needed a video for this joint, and yo, Jack just killed it. Tom Morello is one of the best guitarists ever. I love it. It's a classic record.
I love it too. I'm gonna let you go on to the next time. I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna make some tea
Yeah.
right quick.
All right, and we got track 7, "Born is Ghosts." And this again was a solid album cut, nice beat, nice guitar play by Tom Morello. You got the chorus, "We are the children, born as ghosts," and yo, that was a dope ass track. I definitely enjoyed that one. Zach killed it lyrically on here. Another solid album cut. We got track 8. We got Maria, dope ass beat, nice guitars on this. You got Zach saying, "And like the sun disappears only to reappear. Maria, she's eternally here. Your time is near, never conquer, we're here." Fire. Love that track. That also needed a video. One of my favorites on this album. Sam, what's your favorite song? You said what was it "Sleep in the Fire" is your favorite? That was a great track. Definitely enjoyed that one. Just non-stop heat on this track, man. On this album, it's no skippable tracks on here. Everything I'm loving. Tom Morello went to Harvard. Man, he's super underrated to me when it comes to guitarists. I don't hear him in no conversations when it comes to guitarists and bands. He's great. It's almost like I feel like with every Rage Against the Machine song, they gotta like build a track around his guitar play. You know what I'm saying? That's how great he is. Nah, Metallica is Reg's band. That's not for me. I only listened to them when we were doing the album reviews, but I'm not a Metallica fan like that. So that's Reg's group. Reg is a huge Metallica fan. Yeah. Yeah, and Sam loves Metallica. That's why we end up doing all the like the Metallica album reviews. Is Sam wanted that. I love him. I mean, for me, I've heard like when they talk about guitarists, they never mention his name though. And you got to think is like the stuff he's done for Rage, and then like he branched off and did the stuff for Audio Slave. I think those were like some great groups that he's been a part of. Then Prophets of Rage with him and Chuck D and Be Real. He's good. I never could get into the heavy metal bands like that. But they definitely legends because I mean, just seeing them, being able to be DJ Tim was good. Just seeing them be here for a long time and doing great music, for that genre over decades. They definitely legends. You know what I'm saying? Run the Jewels is overrated. I definitely agree with you, Sam. I think they are. Their fan base is crazy with their stuff. And people act like Killer Mike is new or something.
I'm back. Where we at?
We had I went on and I talked about the Maria track on the track 8.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's like a catch up and shit. All right, so after Sleep Now in the Fire, Born. Oh, after Born of a Broken Man, Born as Ghost.
Yeah.
Pretty solid song. Like the instrumentation on that one. Maria. You talked about how it was a story of an illegal immigrants, all that stuff.
No, I knew it was about a female. I didn't know she was an illegal immigrant though.
Yeah. So yeah, for one, again, very good song. I definitely love the drums on this fucking
Hmm.
by Brad. Look, the drums and the bass by Tim
Right.
Comerfield too. The story goes with this track. It's pretty much about like a legal immigrant by the name of Maria. She had to come to America and she had to work her way up. But then she realizes that America is not really what is like back home in Mexico. So she ends up killing herself and stuff like that too. So
Hmm.
it's a pretty grim, realistic song because that's like an issue like with most like people who come from different countries. I'm not going to say immigrants, but most people from different countries come because they,
Right.
let's just say like they're like financially stable
Hmm.
in another country. Then they come to move to America and they realize that they actually have to work hard
Right.
just to get back to where they were. And then
Hmm.
it's like different custom that they get used to
Right.
and shit. So yeah, man, very 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 dope song. Very sad song indeed too. So
A lot of if a lot of people that come here as immigrants and they want that American dream. They find it hard that it's easier to live in their own homeland than when you come to America and it's like a whole different set of rules and everything. You know.
yeah, that's like an American going to a different country and shit too.
Right.
Like it's like pretty much like different vice versa. It's like you might want to jump in another person's world, but just
Right.
be equipped and shit.
It depends on it depends on what type of lifestyle you want. I think like if you coming over to America, you want that American dream. If an American goes over to like a country like Mexico or Spain, what is it that how what's the type of lifestyle you trying to have over there?
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right. I see people mentioning Run the Jewels here.
Sam
Um,
Sam feels like they're overrated. I agree with him. They're all overrated to me.
they are. I like them, but I'm more of a company flow. When it comes to LP, I'm like the company flow person. Killer Mike, I mean, I've never really been the biggest Killer Mike fan though. I mean, he can spit, but I feel like me personally, once he started working with LP,
Hmm.
that's when everybody wanted to be
Yeah,
a Killer
they
Mike
they
fan and
took
shit.
it. He been dropping solo albums
Since
for
Outkast,
years. Yeah, you know what I'm
niggas wanted,
saying?
yeah,
It's like now it's like the minute he got with LP and he got successful with Run the Jewels, you see him. He's on Netflix now. He wasn't doing Netflix before.
yeah. When he got with the white man, let me stop.
Yeah, that's just what it is. Like let's call it how it was because he wasn't doing that with Outkast and Thunder Family.
Because he was talking about the same injustice shit, but once he
Right.
started working with LP,
Exactly.
everybody wanted to listen. And I'm not getting that LP because he's a dope producer, dope
Mm.
rapper. He got all the accolades he gets, but it's just motherfuckers and shit. I'm getting that.
Front Crusher Plus, a great album.
Very great,
You know what I'm
very
saying?
expensive, but very
Yeah,
good.
very expensive, but he's underrated, an underrated producer and artist, and he had Def Jux, underrated label.
Cannibal Ox. Ooh,
Yes, I love Cannibal Ox. I have
I
one of his
need I
albums
need
actually.
that Cold Vein album, man.
Yeah, I need Coven. I have one of the other ones, not Coven though, so something else.
Shit. Yeah, man. Definitely. And and like I said, I don't dislike Run the Jewels. It's just that if anything, I only like
It's
the first three Run the Jewels was dope.
right.
The fourth one, it was
But
alright.
their fan base, the way that they treat them, it's like they're like it's like every album they drop is like they try to compare it to like the shit that Dilla was doing and MF doing. I'm like I don't feel like they're on that level.
They were not, because like LP and Dilla have very different production styles. But anyway, let's not turn into a J Dilla convo. Um, Now we're gonna get into Voices of the Voiceless. Again, this was another tribute to the Mamuya of Abdul Jamal, and just pretty much a tribute to motherfuckers who try to speak out, but they always get silenced by the media
Hmm.
and shit like that too. So let's just call it a spade and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Very, very, very dope track. Love it.
This was great. Another banging ass track. Nice beat. The guitars again by Tom Morello. You got Zach, on the chorus. You'll never silence the voice or the voiceless. And it had like I felt like if they had added like some, like in the back of the chorus, like with some kids singing along, that would have had like more of an effect as well. But it was definitely a great call to arms type of song.
I agree. All right. Now we're gonna get into the new Millennium Homes. Pretty solid track again too. When it came, when it came to this track, I want to say they were talking about. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of confused what they were talking about on this track. I'm not gonna lie. Part of me wants to say homelessness, but part of me wants to say gentrification and shit like that. This was one of those tracks I was kind of like a little confused about what the song was about and this
Right.
person shit. So, but it was a good song though.
Yeah. Yes, lyrically, I think it's one of his best on the album. Like when you were saying blood on the floor, but the tears still drying. Cover the spreadsheets, the Dow Jones skying. Cell block, livestock, the bodies they are buying. Like yo, he was killing this track lyrically, and the beat was dope. I love it, man. A great track.
Very good track. Hmm. Now we're gonna get into Ashes in the Fall. Very, very good track. It's pretty much talking about the North American Free Trade Agreement, which pretty much fucked up a lot of economy in Mexico in the last couple of years and shit.
Right.
And pretty much Zach de la Roca is talking about how capitalism pretty much plays in your face and shit, in my opinion and stuff. So yeah, this was definitely a very dope joint.
This was great. I love the spacey sounds on it, and the bass line was fire. The beat, Zach saying sharpen and suffering, woven in them slings, whole lives in the rubble of this rich fortress, dreaming today what tomorrow never brings. Great, just a poetic artist, man. Like his words and the way that his lyrics fit, like each song was just dope. And this was a classic, another banger.
Yeah, another banger track indeed. Last track, War Within the Breath. A very, 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 very nice way to end off this album and whatnot. It's just pretty much talking about the loss of the when they lost their land to the colonizers and shit like that during the Zapatista movement and shit.
Right.
It pretty much gives like the history lesson about them losing their land and shit like that. I fuck with this track.
And Zach warns on the track, everything can change on the New Year's Day, and it just has that whole end of '99 Y2K feel to it. I remember when that whole year was like all the Y2K talk and what the people thought was gonna happen to the country and everything, and it had like that end of the '90s vibe to it, like an end of an era. And I love the beat and the guitars and din 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 war within the breath. Let's live or death. I love that shit, man. That's what again one of my favorite tracks on here to end the album off. Classic record.
Definitely agree with you on that. All right, and that's all of the songs on this album. A phenomenal album, to be real with you. This is probably like the most heaviest album to date. I love the how they really went in when it came to like the tracks about the mistreatment of Mexicans and then the hypocrisy of people like Christopher Columbus Day and whatever and shit like that. This was like pretty much like the most political album, dare I say,
Right.
and that's saying a lot when it comes to Rage Against the Machine and shit too. So very, 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 very dope album and shit.
Right.
And yes, I do say this. This is like the last album of original material because like next week we're going to talk about the Renegades album, which is a covers album
Right.
and stuff. And I want to say this is the first covers album we're doing on this channel. I want to say,
I think it is.
yeah, because I didn't do David Bowie's pinups.
Right.
Yeah, this is gonna be the first covers album, so yeah, this is gonna be interesting and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just found that it's not just a hip hop albums cover. I thought it was just hip hop albums cover, but
Mm-hmm.
they have some rock album
Yeah.
covers. You know, they have different variety and shit. So
Yeah.
definitely cannot wait to listen to that. As for Battle of Los Angeles, I want to give this 5 mics. Pretty much the third straight 5 mic album and shit. So
Right. Oh, we lost Reg. Yeah, Renegades. Renegades. I didn't hear Renegades yet. I gotta actually hear that one. That's the only one I haven't heard from them. Definitely gotta hear that one. Or yeah, the cover was dope. Yeah, he'll be back. He having some frozen stuff going on here. His screen. Definitely great album for sure. Yeah, that's gonna be dope. Definitely looking forward to that one. What's your favorite tracks on this album? My favorites is Gorilla. What's my favorites? Gorilla Radio, Born of a Broken Man, War Within a Breath, Testify, Maria, Mic Check. There's so many. Every like I said, every track on here is great, man. It's like take your pick.
I think
Definitely a five mic classic. It had like again like it has that end of Y2K vibe to it, and you know going into the 2000s when people was unsure what was gonna happen, going into the millennium, and it's rebellious and it just has that rage, rebellious sound, and I love it. And this is my favorite Rage album of any of the albums. Evil Empire was just as great too, but I love this a little bit more. But definitely a five mic classic. One of the best albums of 1999. I forgot to even I know we had did the best of the 90s albums for each for the whole decade on the other podcast. So I forgot to add this to the 99 list, but this is definitely one of the best albums of 1999. So yeah, I love it.
yeah, definitely. All right, it's 12:24. No, I'm gonna stay on for like 20 minutes and shit. Fuck it. Oh wow. It's gonna be a very dope week. You know,
Yeah.
Tuesday we got Janet Jackson's Unbreakable.
Oh Lord.
Yeah,
Is Lamont coming too or just Ashley?
it's gonna be a long and actually
Oh dope, dope.
it's gonna be 10 o'clock because
Okay.
yeah. Um, Thursday is Rastcast So on Ice.
Nice. Friday is Rhapsody.
No, that's gonna be Saturday.
Saturday? Okay, Saturday's right. Oh, special Saturday episode. Okay.
Yeah, probably Saturday afternoon on that one.
Okay.
Because
Saturday's Rhapsody.
I might have to push the pre-record of Do or Die 2 for next week, but I'm not gonna drop that until the week after next.
Okay.
Yeah, because like I said before, it's just like, because like I said, once Ashley said she was available, I was like, I'm not gonna
Right.
push the pre-record with the Rap City one and shit like that. Fuck
Right.
that. But it's crazy too because I was watching the verses
Uh huh.
and whatnot, and I was just amazed just by also what me and Aaron, amazed by how people were just like not really as invested and shit
Really?
because yeah, because like I said, it was like a lot of like this is a YouTuber called Golly Boy. He said, "Oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
old head music and shit like that too." And there's just like I don't know. I just don't like understand what people have against '80s hip hop and stuff like that.
Well, the Barclay Center was sold out. It was no empty seats. It was all sold out. People
Exactly.
came. A lot of people see like they started it off like a seven with the DJ competition. I don't know if people saw that, and then they had like the warm up set with Scratch, and then Capri came on. It wasn't packed in there just yet. People came later on when Karis One and Kane actually came out. That's when people started to file in. But again, it cannot be all about the golden era of the '90s, and people totally ignore a whole decade before that. Because if it wasn't for Karis One and Kane and G Rap and Rakim and LL and the Treacherous Three, which we're gonna talk about coming up, if it wasn't for those artists, there would be no Nas and Jay Z and Boot Camp, you know what I'm saying, and Hyro and those artists. You know what I'm saying? People sleep on it. That's why we discussed the whole '80s era on my channel to give some flowers to the '80s rap because I never see nobody talk about '80s rap albums. It's always about '90s rap albums, and the rap albums really started to get great in '88. You know what I'm saying? And then it was a continuation into the '90s. But we gotta pay respect to '80s rap. It's not all about '90s rap.
Yeah, man. Because I was even listening to the Treacherous Three. Just like listening to a few of their songs, and it's crazy that the people talk about '80s rap was not lyrical. These niggas was doing that whole fast rapping shit before
Mm-hmm.
Twister,
Exactly.
Buster, the double on top, the inner
Mm-hmm.
rhymes and shit like that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but these are the same motherfuckers that say, "Oh, '80s had that party shit," which yeah, they do. You have like the Busy Bee Starskis, the Curtis Blows, and everything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
then you also had like the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Fives.
Mm-hmm.
You had the Beat Fearless Four and shit like that. And mind, these were groups before
Right.
Run DMC
Right.
and shit too.
It wasn't all about partying. NWA came out in the '80s, people. So did Ice T. They wasn't partying. You know, before Dre and Snoop, you had those artists out on the West Coast doing gangster rap. Who's going to battle Slick Rick? I don't know. Put any one of them. If it ain't Rakim or LL or Cool G Rap, any one of them to me. I need those four in the verses though. They got to be saluted. They all came from the '80s. They need to be saluted. The same way you saw tonight when the Juice Crew came up on stage and Roxanne Shante and Nice and Smooth. A lot of them ain't gonna get no verses, so they got to get on there any way they could get on there. Salt and Pepper as well. They need a verses as well. Kid and Play. They need a verses as well. MC Hammer. Okay, Hammer got hits, regardless of what people think about him.
Man,
He's a legend.
him was gonna be an automatic win.
He's a legend. He's a legend. You know what I'm saying? He opened the door for a lot of mainstream commercial rap. You know,
Hammer versus
anyone.
Puffy.
Hey, and Hammer's a better dancer than Puffy. I'll tell you that.
That's
Way
why I
better
said
dancer than
Hammer
Puffy.
versus Puffy.
Way better dancer than Puffy.
But yeah, it's like that's why when it comes like a lot of these upcoming reviews for hip hop, don't be surprised if I do an album like before '84 and shit like
Right.
that. Like I'm thinking about even doing the Fat Boys
The
album.
Fat Boys.
I'm
They need
thinking
to be
that.
saluted for sure. The Fat Boys. There's only
Yeah,
one left. You know.
yeah, man. But don't like, and that's just because I'm not gonna stop doing the '90s rap
Right.
albums. It's just that I'm just. It's so many albums I can talk about.
Right.
Like I want to get some like 2000, like the South and shit like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Right.
Give more respect to the South and shit. That's why
Right.
I got a lot of shit coming up.
Yeah. Don't
And
give
the
it away.
albums that people want me to do, like I've done them years ago and shit.
Don't give it away.
What?
Don't give away the shit that's coming up.
I'm not. No, I'm
It's
not.
just from any era we could talk about. It don't even
Yeah.
matter.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? The '80s need more respect though. You know what I'm saying? People put too much emphasis on the '90s and 2000s and forget all about the '80s. But you call yourself a hip hop head. So if you're a hip hop head, you should know who these artists are from the '80s. Hip hop don't
They,
start with '90s rap,
they only talk about 92 to 97.
and that's a shame because there's so many classics that came out before '92.
But it's like when they talk about like those years, they only talk about fucking the mainstream, the pop one. They don't talk
Way
about
too
like the
much.
underground.
Way too much. Way too much '90s. Is way too much. You know what I'm saying? When was the last time they talked about a Houdini album or Treacherous 3 or Kumo D? You know what I'm saying? It's way too much. It's way too much focus on the '90s and that's it.
Mano said Fat Boys were
Nah,
cornball to me, but still much
I
respect. They
love
helped
them.
lay down the foundation.
They were great.
See, the Fat Boys they borrowed from the tradition of Busy Bee, Starsky, the Party. But see, the Fat Boys getting up because their showmanship was off the chart. They had the whole beatboxing, the dancing, and mind you, these were big niggas and shit like that.
Right?
Biggie wasn't dancing
Nope.
and shit.
Nope. Heavy D
Like
was though.
yeah, Heavy D was
Chub
dancing.
Rock. Chub Rock.
Yeah, and it's crazy too because niggas don't even talk about Chubb either.
Nope.
It's like Chubb Rock was like the link between Heavy D and
Mm-hmm.
Biggie and shit.
Right. Right. You know,
Shit, man. It's like the only big niggas talk about is like Biggie and Big Pun. That's it.
my favorite '80s album is a tie between 3 Feet High and Rising and Long Live Kane. It's those two for me. Cause those two I played the most out of everything else. But like I said, we already did a episode with like our top 10 favorite '80s rap albums, and there was a lot from '88. It wasn't just Kane and everybody else. It was a lot from '88. You know what I'm saying?
Hell, niggas don't talk about low profile. Dub C's first group.
Right.
Shit.
Naughty by Nature. They need a verses also. Definitely. Definitely, they got hits.
Naughty by Nature versus DOS Effects.
Hey, make that happen. I want
Yo,
to see it. I've seen
when
both of them in concert. Let's make that happen.
when he brought out Mad Lion,
Crazy.
I was out my
Crazy.
shit.
Mad Lion first album was a classic. I love it. I need to
Some of
get that
Karis
joint.
One's best production was on that.
Definitely. Chubb Rock, underrated. You know,
You
Pay
know, a
in
lot of people
Full.
don't know, but Cypress Hill's Insane of the Brain was originally a Chubb Rock diss track and shit.
Yes, I heard that.
Yeah.
That what was the beat? How did that start?
I heard that Chubb Rock was making fun of their sound on his '92 album,
Mm-hmm.
but some
On
people,
I Gotta Get Mine On? I had that album. I don't remember him dissing Cypress Hill.
yeah, I've never really heard the album in full,
Uh-huh.
but a lot of people also said that they were throwing shots at Kid Frost too.
He must have did it subliminally. Remember, like, not everybody was calling each other out. I don't remember him calling out Cypress Hill and Kid Frost on that. That's
I mean,
crazy.
like, Be Real was taking shots at Kid
Chubb
Frost.
Oh, right.
Interesting.
Wow. I thought Kid Frost was the one that discovered them.
Hey,
May,
I heard it
maybe
was
it was a Mellow Man Ace. It might have been him. Wow, that's crazy.
speak. Yeah, Follow the Leader. Definitely a dope album.
Yes, for sure. Definitely. Oh, that's crazy, yo. Kid Frost's first album, that was a great album too.
I never heard a Kid Frost album.
Yeah, that was dope. What's it called? Hispanic Causing Panic? The 1990 album?
Hispanic Causing Panic.
Yeah, that was fire. Definitely need to get that one.
Yeah, I was telling we were telling what's old boy's name, Sean,
Mm-hmm.
about Kid Caprice, the tape album.
Yes.
Like like niggas be
The
surprised Kid Capri was rapping. I'm just
mm-hmm.
like, guys, he was rapping way back
Exactly
in the day,
the
y'all.
original
Like
mixtape. He was dropping mixtapes back then.
Billy.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
yep. You know,
Matter of fact, hold on, I'm play that shit right now.
he was a part of the Trackmasters. A lot of people don't know that either.
Really?
Yes, for a brief period he was producing under the Trackmasters.
I didn't even know that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
didn't he produce something on It Was Written? If I'm not mistaken.
Kid Capri?
Yeah, I want to say he did. He did like a track on It Was Written.
If he did, he might have been if I'm under the
Or
track.
it might, yeah. If it's not, It Was Written. It was a. It might have been Mr. Smith. One of those albums. He was under the Trackmasters at that time. Like right around the time when Soundtrack to the Streets came out, and he was under them, and producing for they label for their company. Yeah, great Kid Frost album, man.
Yeah, man. And it's crazy too because it's like when motherfuckers not re-releasing these albums and shit like that, a Kid Capri's album, it gets kind of swept under the rug
Mm-hmm.
and shit like that. Because I recently heard of that Kid Capri album like 2, 3 years ago.
Yeah, EPMD versus Eric B and Rakim. Eric B
Mhm.
was there. Eric B he cut the cornrows off, and he looked like he gained some weight.
Yeah, he gained some weight over the years. Yeah,
Wow, I didn't even know that was him. I'm like, damn, he looked different.
I mean that might be dope. I mean,
I know Rakim was watching. Rakim has to be in the verses for sure.
wow. When I heard it was supposed to be Rakim over Kane, I'm like, come
Mm-hmm.
on.
Why couldn't they make that happen though? Was it money?
I
Because
don't
they
know.
getting paid for this. It's not. They're not doing it for free. You know what I'm
Maybe
saying?
Rakim wants somebody else.
Who does he want? And is the artist that he want alive or dead? you know.
Why would he battle?
Who
Why
does
would he battle
Rakim
for
want?
that office?
Huh? Well, I mean, I mean, there's some dead artists he could have battled too. You know, who does he want? Does he want Nas? If he wants Nas, make that happen. Does he want Jay-Z? Who does Rakim want in the verses?
On some real shit, I don't even know who I would put Jay against. To be real.
I'm putting Jay against Nas. If it
Yeah,
ain't
he
Jay
really
and
Jay
Nas,
against. I'm tired of Jay against Nas.
no.
Nas against
Let's settle
everybody.
that
Let's just
once and for
be
all.
creative. Like
No, let's settle that once and for all. Jay-Z and Nas. Nas can be on whoever he wants.
put Jay
Jay-Z can be
against
on whoever he wants.
Scarface or somebody like that.
You know the popularity is going to sway in Jay-Z's favor. Now if you put Ice Cube and Scarface, it's a balance. There's a balance because Scarface has his fan base, Cube has his fan base. If you put Jay-Z against Scarface, it is going to sway in Jay-Z's favor.
You
You know what I'm
might not know.
saying?
You might not
People
know
don't want to
that.
admit that it is going to happen. Regardless of what region he's from, it doesn't matter. Jay-Z
I,
is going to be the favorite in that.
I just feel like Jay against Nas is just.
Jay-Z,
I know why people want that because people want another beef between them.
no, we don't want the beef. We want it
Yeah. People
settled.
want
We
that.
want it settled once and for all. Who has the better discography? Who had the better album cuts and hits? Who had the better overall, influence on the culture? Okay, let's settle that once and for all. And then after it's done, we don't have to hear no more about Jay Z and Nas because I'm tired of talking about them. I've been talking about these artists for years. It is tiring. Okay, we did a whole discography of verses on the other podcast about them, and it was tiring back then. I don't want to talk about Jay Z and Nas no more. Settle it in the verses once and for all. I don't care where it's at, Queensbridge, Brooklyn, wherever. Settle it. Once and for all, let's get Jay Z and Nas, and that's it. No more after this. I don't care about what Vlad has to say about Nas being a bad beat picker and Jay Z, his influence on the NFL. I don't care. One last time, let's get it on with them, and
I
that's
feel
it.
like I'm in a barbershop right now, yo.
Because I've been to barbershops and they were talking the same shit. I'm like, bro, there was more to hip hop than just Jay Z and Nas. Okay, I'm from New York. I'm telling you, I've seen Jay Z in concert. He's great. Nas is great. They're both legends. Let's settle it once and for all. Because to me, and I've been saying this in 98, 99, that Nas is a better artist than Jay Z. Okay, Jay-Z has the bigger hit singles, but Nas is the better MC. There's certain songs that Nas has done that Jay-Z can't do. Jay-Z can't do I'll Give You Power. He can't do it. That's not his thing. His thing was Can I Get Her? His thing was, Ain't No Nigga. That's his shit, not Nas. When Nas tried to go mainstream, you see what happened. He gave us shit like You Owe Me and Uchiwali.
Well, Nas can't do it. Can't knock the hustle. He can't do that.
Nas couldn't do it. But he could do it, but it won't be as mainstream as how Jay-Z's album was. You know what I'm saying?
Not mainstream. Let's be real.
Reasonable Doubt was not mainstream. Feeling It was not
mainstream.
Feeling It, Can't Knock the Hustle.
Okay.
Ain't No Nigga. That's not mainstream tracks.
Let me explain what I mean by that. Reasonable Doubt, yes, it had its radio hits. Ain't No Nigga.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling It.
Yeah.
Compare that album to Volume 2. It was not mainstream like that.
Volume 2 it was what made him a household name.
Yes, that because he knew what he was doing when he did that album. He knew what he was doing.
But
he had the hottest producers out.
Let's not act like Jay-Z was always underground. He was always a mainstream artist.
I never said that.
You know what I'm saying?
I never said.
He was always mainstream.
He was. But I just said Reasonable Doubt was just it had more of an underground sound and shit.
I don't feel like it did. I feel like that was a mainstream album, but had slept on that album, and it took him, two albums later to be a household name. You know what I'm saying? And we knew who he was when Reasonable Doubt came out, but white America didn't know who he was, and it took that Annie sample for him to get to where he is now. He didn't have none of those songs like that on Reasonable Doubt. Once he used the Annie sample, that's what blew him up. We knew who he was. Nas was had a different path. Illmatic was regarded as the hip hop Bible, but it never sold. And it took him to go back in the studio and come out where it was written. And it went commercial. It was a commercial success. You know what I'm saying? And he's been on a different path since then. Does anybody disagree with what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't. I
Am is a great album. People don't even mention that album. They skip over that and go straight to Stillmatic, and I don't understand that. Yeah. Any joint from I Am is beating Jay in a round. You know how many ill joints he got on there? Dr. Knock Boots, We Will Survive, Nas is Like, New York State of Mind Part 2. I love that joint. With the R. Kelly sample? What? That was fire.
Oh my God, that album was so ill.
You know what I mean? A Favor for a Favor with Scarface.
Love that track.
You know what I'm saying? The joint with DMX. Come on.
Did you mention We Will Survive, right?
We Will Survive.
Okay,
I love that song.
That's one of Nas' most underrated songs. No one talks about that one.
Money Is My Bitch, and that was on the bootleg for Nostradamus, the double album, and he put it on I Am anyway. Come on.
Hell, Nostradamus has some heat too.
Yeah, they do. They do. I love Shoot 'Em Up. I love Project Windows. The family joint with Mobb Deep.
I love Come Get Me and shit.
Yeah, Come Get Me. The Primo joint, fire. You telling me he can't win a round with any of those tracks? He can play shit from Lost Tapes right now. Drunk by Myself, Blazer 50, Purple. You gotta love it and win a round. Come on, man. This is Nas we talking about. He ain't no one album wonder. Let's settle that once and for all. Jay-Z and Nas. I want to see that. That has to be like the ultimate verses. They gotta, and they might have to promote for that for like a whole year, like how they do with WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? When they do WrestleMania and you got The Rock coming back for one match, you might have to promote that for like a whole year. Jay-Z and Nas. They gotta be in Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Have the big announcer come out, like the big announcer gotta come out and do all the fights, and you gotta announce that one.
That's gonna break the internet. Yo.
Yeah. We need that. We need that. But we need other verses before that though. Ice Cube and Scarface. We need that. Outkast. Who they battling?
Scarface recently had that surgery and shit. So
he's not healthy.
No, because his son donated a kidney to him and shit.
Mm-hmm. Bone Thugs and 3 6 Mafia. Let's make that happen.
That was supposed to have happened, but
yeah, we still waiting. That needs to happen. CNN, who they battling? Boot Camp, who they battling? Das Effects. They got 20. Who they battling? MOP, Onyx. We gotta get these groups involved, man. Salt and Pepper, Missy Elliott, Queen Latifah, MC Light. I want to see those females in it. Little Kim and Foxy. It got to be all regions. It just can't be a New York thing. It got to be all regions because all hip hop is universal now. It's global. Who Drake battling?
Yeah, fuck Drake.
Drake got hits. Who Drake battling? J. Cole? Kendrick? Come on, Griselda. Can we get them in the battle too? Is it too early for? Is it too early for Griselda?
It's way too early.
I don't know. They got a following. I don't know. Griselda against Boot Camp. Who winning that? Who winning that? Hey, I might give the edge to Griselda. I don't know, cause the boot camp discography taper off early, like 2000s ish. I want to say, with the exception of the Sean Price stuff, but the other albums from like OGC and Helter Skelter wasn't good to me. You know, is it too early for them? Too early for J. Cole and Kendrick? Sam says Drake sucks. Drake got hits though. Is it too early for Drake? Who we battling? Buck Bushwick not around anymore? For Ghetto Boys? Hey. But if people want a Mobb Deep versus and it's only Havoc left. So you're gonna exclude Mobb Deep? You know? Who we putting Mobb Deep against? Ghetto Boys and NWA? Who winning that? I don't know.
It might be a tough one.
These are the verses that need to be happening, yo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they bullshitting right now. Come on, Swizz and Timberland. Pharrell, who he's battling? Pete Rock, Alchemist. I want to see those producers. Dr. Dre, who he battling? Not Diddy, because he get washed by Diddy.
Dre said he's not even doing it.
Dre will wash him. Dre would wash Diddy. Dre would wash Diddy. I don't see Diddy better take Jermaine Dupri. That needs to be the next one. Don't take Jermaine Dupri lightly, and you want to go for the big fish. Dre's washing him.
Yeah, I might call it a night, y'all. And shit.
Yeah.
You said Pharrell versus Jermaine Dupri.
I got Pharrell in that though.
Yeah, I got Pharrell over that.
Pharrell did shit for rock bands that Jermaine Dupri ain't touch rock like that.
Nah. What's he gonna play? Mariah Carey? I mean, I like Mariah.
You gonna play Mariah against No Doubt?
Oh man,
I don't know.
Wait, Pharrell did the work on No Doubt's 2001 album,
the
right?
one we talked about, hella good.
Yeah,
hella good. The Rocksteady album.
Yeah, he'll kill Dupree over that one song on that one.
Mm-hmm. Too much shit. He did shit for fucking Jamiroquai and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sade. So
definitely. But yeah, man. This has been a very fun night and shit like that. It's been a long day for me. But like I mentioned earlier, Tuesday we're gonna talk about Tri's favorite Janet Jackson album. That's gonna be on Tuesday.
oh.
Wednesday we're gonna do. Yeah, that's on you and shit.
Yes. Oh yeah, we doing the Crow movie review. That's what Sam requested. That's what we doing. Classic horror film. I love it. Definitely stay tuned for that.
I want to watch that tomorrow. I was watching BMF this whole weekend and shit.
Yes, I'm going to watch BMF right now after this.
Yeah. All right. Thursday is the long-awaited Rascast on Ice review.
Yes.
Shout out to Rascast, by the way.
Yes.
And Saturday, time to be announced. It's going to be the Rap City's Layla's Wisdom.
I love it.
Yes. Jam-packed week. Oof.
Yeah, man. This is great.
Yes, this is great.
It's great. It's great to be in the hip hop culture and discussing these legends. I love this culture, man.
I love it too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Thank you for everything, bro, today.
No doubt, man.
All right. Thank y'all for holding it down since 8 p.m. today and shit too. And I will see y'all later.
Yeah.
Peace.
Peace out.